When you see a blank page in front of you, it can feel intimidating. But if you take everything step by step, go slowly, and don't stress too much, everything will fall into place. In this video, I'll walk you through all the steps needed to create a realistic drawing from the initial sketch to the final result. Step 1. Gather your materials. Before starting, you'll need the right tools and materials. First is soft pastels. If you're new to soft pastels, choosing the right set can feel overwhelming. But don't worry, it's easier than you think. For beginners, I highly recommend brands like Rembrandt. They're affordable and high quality, and the colors are smooth, rich, and satisfying. They have a good starter set with a mix of light, mid-tone, and dark colors, which is the perfect way to begin. This variety allows you to easily create depth, contrast, and dynamic effects in your artwork without needing to mix many colors. Pastel pencils. Pastel pencils are an absolute game changer, especially when adding fine details and sharp edges to your artwork. They're perfect for creating delicate tree branches, individual hair strands, or those tiny, eye-catching highlights in a portrait. While soft pastels are amazing for broad strokes and smooth blending, pastel pencils give you the precision and control you need for the finishing touches. Their pencil-like form makes them easy to handle, making you effortlessly create crisp lines and intricate textures. If you're wondering which brands to try, you can't go wrong with Stabilo or Faber-Castell. These brands are beginner-friendly, offer vibrant pigments, and have a smooth, consistent application that's a joy to work with. Whether you're refining details in a landscape or adding lifelike features to any kind of portrait, pastel pencils are the perfect complement to your soft pastels. They're like the icing on the cake for your artwork. Pastel paper. When choosing the right paper for your pastel art, it's hard to beat Clairefontaine Pastel Matte. This paper is a favorite for a reason. It's designed specifically to work with soft pastels and pastel pencils, and it makes your colors pop while keeping everything in place. Pastel Matte has a soft, velvety texture that grips the pastel pigments beautifully, so you can layer and blend to your heart's content without worrying about smudging or losing vibrancy. It's beginner-friendly, but also loved by professionals, making it a great choice no matter where you are on your pastel journey. If you're looking for a surface that takes your pastel work to the next level, Pastel Matte is worth checking out. Blending tools. When it comes to blending your pastels, there are a few tools that can really help you get that smooth, professional look. What are soft tools? Soft tools are made from a specially formulated micropore sponge for applying pen pastel colors. Each tool has a unique shape and size based on artists' brushes. They are versatile, reusable, and easy to clean. Types of soft tools. They are simply composed of soft knives and covers. Simply said, plastic palette knives with interchangeable sponge covers. The round one is used for soft blending for broad areas. The flat one is used for smooth gradients over large spaces. The oval one is used for curved strokes and subtle shading. The pointy one is used for fine details and edges. While you use them, you can achieve smooth, streak-free blending. Great for softened transitions and eliminate harsh lines. They are reusable and work well on pastel papers. For smaller spots where you want more control, blending stumps are your best friend. They let you gently smudge pastels for subtle transitions. These tools make blending a breeze and help you achieve beautiful, smooth transitions in your artwork. To make your pastel drawing process smoother and more comfortable, it's a good idea to secure your paper to a drawing board or desk. You can use masking tape, craft paper, or any other low-tack tape to secure the edges of your paper to the board, making sure it stays in place without damaging the surface. This will give your artwork stability and prevent it from shifting while you work. Plus, it helps create a clean border around your drawing, which not only keeps things neat, but also gives your piece a professional, finished look. This small step can really make a big difference in your overall process. Erasers. A kneaded eraser is an essential tool in pastel drawing, especially for creating highlights. It's soft and pliable, which makes it perfect for gently lifting pastel from your paper without damaging the surface. You can use it to pull out light areas or add subtle highlights like the reflection of light on a shiny object or bright spots in a portrait. The best part, you can shape the kneaded eraser into any form you need, whether it's a fine point for detailed areas or a broader surface for larger highlights. It's a super versatile tool that helps you refine your drawing and add that extra pop. Step 2. Plan your drawing. Choose a subject. If you're new to pastels, start simple. Try a landscape, fruit, flowers, or a basic still life. These subjects help you practice techniques without too much detail. As you gain confidence, move on to more complex compositions. Reference picture. A great website with free high-quality reference pictures is Pixabay. Using a clear photo as a reference can really help you get the details right. It's a great way to study how light and shadows play on your subject, which will make your drawing look more realistic. It's also helpful in understanding how colors interact with each other. Make sure your reference image is high quality and clear so you can see the details that will guide your work later on. Swatch your colors. I chose to draw this pansy flower because it has nice and vibrant colors. Before diving into your drawing, it's helpful to swatch your pastels both digitally and physically to ensure you have the right colors. First, swatch on Photoshop or any digital design software you prefer. If you're using digital tools to plan your artwork, you can create a color palette by selecting similar tones to the ones you'll use in your drawing. On Photoshop, you can create a new layer and use a brush tool to swatch different pastel colors, adjusting their intensity and blending them to see how they look together. This step helps you plan out your color scheme and get a better sense of how the colors interact before applying them to your paper. Then, swatch on a separate piece of paper once you're happy with your digital palette, or even if you're working without a digital plan. Take your pastels and lightly apply them to a scrap piece of paper similar to the one you'll be using for your final drawing. This gives you a sense of how the pastels look on the actual paper texture. It's also a great way to see how the colors blend, layer, and look once applied to the surface. Testing them this way ensures you can quickly adjust your colors before you begin your drawing, helping you visualize the overall color palette and ensuring you have the correct shades for your subject. First of all, I want to start by mentioning that tracing isn't cheating. It's just another tool to improve your art. Many professional artists use tracing to save time, study proportions, and refine their skills. It helps build muscle memory and confidence, especially for beginners. Art is about creativity and expression, not just freehand drawing. As long as you're learning and making something unique, tracing is simply a step in the artistic process. Once you've chosen your subject and reference image, start to lightly trace your drawing onto the paper. Focus on outlining the basic shapes and proportions to lay a strong foundation for your drawing. Don't worry about adding small details just yet. Keep your lines light and soft, as heavier marks might be hard to cover when you start adding color. This trace will act as your guide throughout the rest of your pastel work, so take your time and make sure everything is in place. Since the tracing paper I use creates a very faint outline and the paper color is similar in tone, the sketch can be hard to see. To make it visible, I lightly go over it with a soft layer of a darker pastel from my swatches using very little pressure. This helps bring out the sketch without making it too bold or overpowering the drawing. Step 3. lay down base colors. Start with the background. When starting your pastel drawing, it's a good idea to work from the background to the foreground. This approach not only helps prevent smudging, but also allows you to layer your colors more effectively. I am aiming for a green, blurry background, so I begin by blocking in soft greens as my base. I am using light greens, yellows, and even a touch of black for some darkness. Don't focus on details. Keep the strokes broad and soft to create a smooth, blurred effect. Use horizontal or circular strokes to mimic the natural flow of light and color in the background. Blending and layering are essential techniques for creating a realistic pastel drawing of a purple pansy. These methods help achieve smooth petal transitions, vibrant colors, and delicate details that bring the flower to life. If you're a beginner, don't worry. By taking your time and following these steps, you'll gradually build up the colors and depth needed for a soft, lifelike result. Before you begin blending or adding details, it's important to map out the basic shape and main colors of the pansy. Lightly sketch the flower's outline using a pastel pencil to guide your placement of colors. Then, apply the base colors to each petal using soft pastels or pastel pencils. Focus on filling in the general areas of light and dark purples. Don't worry about blending or refining details yet. This stage is just about getting the right color placement. If your reference photo shows variations in petal color, like hints of pink or blue, softly introduce those colors now. Keeping your initial layers light will help maintain vibrancy and allow for easy blending later. Blending is what gives the pansy its velvety, delicate appearance. Always work from light to dark to avoid muddying the colors. Use a soft sponge or another smooth blending tool to gently blend the base colors in circular motions, creating smooth transitions. For larger petal areas, broad blending strokes work best, while for smaller areas, such as the edges of the petals or shadows near the flower center, a blending stump or a smaller soft tool will provide better precision. Make sure to keep your strokes light and soft. Pressing too hard can remove pigment and create uneven patches that are difficult to correct. If a color starts looking dull or muddy, gently lift excess pigment with a tissue or kneaded eraser before reapplying pastel. Cleaning your blending tools frequently with a tissue will also help maintain vibrant colors and prevent unwanted color mixing. Once the base colors are smoothly blended, it's time to add depth and dimension to make the petals look more realistic. Start by deepening the shadows near the flower center and in naturally shaded areas using darker purples. This step enhances contrast and gives the petals a more three-dimensional appearance. For the outer edges of the petals where the light hits, apply lighter purples, pinks, or even white to create soft highlights. This contrast between highlights and shadows helps define each petal, making the flower appear more lifelike. If any areas look too flat, try layering another light coat of color to adjust the contrast and make the petals pop. Now that the main colors and shadows are in place, take a step back and assess your drawing. Does the blending look smooth? Are the highlights and shadows balanced? If necessary, go back and refine specific areas. Adding a little more color or blending out harsh edges can make a big difference. Work from general to specific, focusing on the overall shape and color balance first before refining small details. This ensures that your drawing remains cohesive and well structured. To complete your pansy drawing, make any last refinements to the colors and edges. If necessary, deepen shadows for more contrast or brighten highlights for an extra touch of realism. Pastel is a forgiving, buildable medium, so if something doesn't look quite right, you can always adjust it by adding another layer of pigment or gently blending it out. Step 4. Refine and add details. Use pastel pencils for details. Pastel pencils are essential for capturing the finer details of your purple pansy, allowing you to define sharp petal edges, sketch delicate veins, and add texture to the flower center with precision. They are especially useful for refining details that soft pastels might struggle to achieve. Start by using pastel pencils to define the edges of the petals, ensuring they remain crisp and well-shaped. The dark center of the pansy often has a velvety texture. Using a deep purple or black pastel pencil, carefully layer and blend these intricate details to create a realistic depth. To enhance the three-dimensional look, add highlights and shadows by identifying where the light naturally falls. A white or pale lavender pastel pencil can be used to add soft, glowing highlights along the edges, while deeper purples, blues, or even a touch of black will help shape shadows at the base of the petals and near the flower center. To bring out a realistic texture, apply soft pastels lightly using the tip of a pastel pencil or a soft pastel stick to create smooth yet natural shifts in color. If an area looks too flat, softly layering colors will help build a more natural appearance. For the pansy center, blend carefully but leave some areas more defined to capture its slightly rough yet soft texture. One of the most important details that will make your pansy look more realistic is the fine veins running through the petals. To create these natural vein-like details, use a slightly darker pastel pencil than the petal's base color and lightly sketch thin, curved lines that follow the natural direction of the petals. These veins should be subtle and not too harsh. If they appear too bold, softly blend them with a soft tool or a blending stump to integrate them into the surrounding colors. Avoid making the veins look too uniform. Some can be more pronounced, while others fade into the petal for a more organic and natural effect. Be mindful of the pressure you apply. Too much pressure can overwork the pigment, making blending more difficult. Always work in light layers to maintain control and prevent the colors from becoming muddy. A kneaded eraser is a great tool to lift excess pigment or correct small mistakes without damaging the pastel layers. Regularly step back and assess your drawing to spot areas that need more contrast or refinement. If you want to enhance depth further, add another layer of shadow where needed and gently refine highlights for a final touch. Once satisfied with the details, softly blend where necessary to ensure a smooth transition between colors without losing definition. By following these steps, defining edges, adding highlights and shadows, creating texture, sketching realistic petal veins, layering carefully, and refining details, you'll achieve a vibrant, lifelike pansy with rich depth and a beautifully natural appearance. Step 5. Correct mistakes. Erase using a kneaded eraser. Mistakes are a natural part of the process, and the good news is that pastels are forgiving. To correct excess pigment or create highlights, use a kneaded eraser. It's soft and flexible, allowing you to gently lift the pastel without damaging the paper. This is great for lightening up areas or even creating small highlights like the reflection of light. If you have sharper mistakes or need to clean up edges, a vinyl eraser is perfect for the job. It's firmer and can give you more precision when fixing those tricky spots. Then, reapply color. Sometimes, you might accidentally smudge or overblend certain areas, which can dull the vibrancy of your pastels. No worries, simply reapply the pastel in those spots to restore the color's brightness. Layering over a smudged area helps bring back the richness and ensures your drawing stays vibrant and fresh. Pastels are all about layering and adjusting, so don't be afraid to go back and perfect your artwork. Step 6. Final touches. Step back. Once you feel like your drawing is coming together, take a moment to step back and look at it from a distance. This gives you a fresh perspective and helps you see areas that might need a little extra work. You may notice spots where the contrast could be stronger, areas that need more detail, or places that need additional blending. It's a great way to make sure everything looks balanced and complete before you finish. Clean edges. After you've made any final adjustments, it's time to clean up the edges of your drawing. Carefully remove the masking tape you used to secure your paper. This will reveal a crisp, clean border around your artwork, giving it a polished, professional look. These small details, like clean edges, can make a big difference in how finished and refined your drawing looks. Practice makes perfect, so don't rush through the process. Try creating small studies or sketches to practice specific techniques like blending, layering, and adding details. These smaller exercises help you gain more confidence with pastels and develop your skills over time. And that's it. Our purple pansy is complete. I hope you enjoyed following along as I brought this flower to life step by step. Remember, building up layers, blending carefully, and adding those fine details are the key to creating vibrant, realistic drawings. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow artists. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future tutorials. I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and step-by-step guides to help you grow as an artist. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy drawing!